This morning for you on Daybreak, we'll explain the importance of finding help when dealing with tragedy.
And a special election you can weigh in on, deciding whether or not to extend a tax helping out C Street.
Plus, things are already changing for businesses with the passing of Tobacco 21. We'll take a look at that and more coming up this morning here on Daybreak.
Well, good morning and thanks for waking up with us. It's Tuesday, July 23rd. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano. Plenty to get to this morning. But you know what? We start off by welcoming back Lauren. You know, one day off.
Thank you.
It felt like you're gone so long, I tell you. Because Mondays are long.
Did you miss me?
And we
Wow.
miss you, of course.
That's
yeah.
so nice of you.
Did you have a little time off, a little fun?
Yeah, I went to Chicago with some family, so that was really fun. Did some touristy things. You know, when you go there and you're visiting family, they live there. They don't want to do the touristy things.
Of course.
But we had some extra time on Saturday, so we went and saw Buckingham Fountain. We went to the Lincoln Park Zoo, and I think it was as hot there as it was here, and they were telling me that never ever happens. They're like, it's 100 or really close, and they're like, this is weird for us.
Yeah, Chicago in the summer is like the most beautiful area,
right? And I've only ever been there in the winter, so that was really cool, but they said this will last about 2 weeks. You can go back to Missouri and enjoy it for a little bit longer than 2 weeks.
That is right. Meteorologist Lisa Rappa is here with that as well. Also, Chicago in the winter, one of the worst places maybe ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there in the winter.
You're not going to the fountain or to the zoo in the winter, so that's why we did those things. But
all right.
Yeah.
Very nice. We're ready to go on a Tuesday. It was pretty cool yesterday as you came home, right?
Yeah, I was surprised, but welcomed it.
Yeah, I mean, this morning I walked out and I was like, ooh, I need my jacket
Thought
this
maybe
morning.
get the jacket,
Yeah,
What's going on?
refreshing out there at the very least.
Right.
Temperature's a little bit on the cool side. We're in the 60s this morning with those dew points really dry and really nice out there. We've got those temperatures at 64 degrees in Springfield with clear skies, north and northeast winds at 7 miles per hour, and that dew point is at 60. Look at the temperature change from yesterday. A good 10 degrees cooler now than it was yesterday. It's 64 degrees in Springfield, 63 in Branson, and 62 in Rolla. Look at the muggy meter. We've got greens and yellows, meaning it doesn't feel bad. It's really nice and crisp out there. Lots of dry roads today. I don't expect any rain, so no commute hazards as far as the weather is concerned. Mostly sunny skies at the pool. Still a very high UV index of 10. Remember, that doesn't really correlate to temperature, but we'll have those temperatures up around 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies, and things feeling good. As you fire up the barbecue today, we'll have things pretty cool and pleasant. 70 degrees by 9 o'clock. Temperatures are really going to dip tonight. Might be a little bit, again, on the cool side, if not a little bit chilly as you head out tomorrow morning. So much cooler start today. We've got relief from the heat, a cooler, less humid, beautiful 7-day. I'll show you the full forecast coming up in 10 minutes.
All right, Elisa, thank you. We begin with what's making news now. It's been a week since the city of Springfield implemented a law preventing shops from selling tobacco to anyone under 21.
That change has already had a ripple effect for businesses on the outskirts of town. So this morning, Jesse Inman is in studio to explain how. Jesse, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Joe and Lauren. The goal of this move by the city of Springfield was really to stop young people from ever picking up a nicotine addiction in the first place. So those I spoke with at the health department in Springfield, Greene County say they hope to see at least a 15% decrease in people smoking from the ages of 18 to 20 years old. Now, over the next 60 days, they'll be educating retailers in Springfield on how to best enforce the law here in town. But employees at the Casey's General Store in Nixa say that they've already seen an uptick in traffic for tobacco products.
Generally like 18 to 20-year-olds just coming in, trying to get their jewels or their swishers, you know. I just kind of like watch a little more. I have to ID a lot, because we're getting people that we don't know anymore. So it's like the regulars that come in, we don't, you know, we know their birthdays and stuff generally, so we're not too worried about it.
Now, the punishment that stores in Springfield would be facing for selling tobacco products to underage buyers ranges from a $250 fine to all the way up to losing their tobacco license altogether.
All right, Jesse Inman, thank you this morning. Certainly a story we will be following. A candlelight vigil in Clever over the weekend remembered 3 little girls who died in a car accident last week. Dozens showed up to show support Sunday night, but you could also see an outpouring of grief. Color 10 talked to counselors at Lost and Found Grief Center yesterday. Counselors say grief is unique and everyone deals with it differently. However, it's important for anyone who's going through grief to know they have friends and family to support them.
if I've heard once, I've heard 100 times from grieving people that the best thing that you can do for me is just walk beside me.
Now, if you want to reach Lost and Found Grief, their number is on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
There are several community events coming up this week to let you know about. First and foremost, a local education coalition alongside the NAACP will present a list of so-called imperatives to the Springfield Public School District in hopes to make changes there. For months, the groups have made claims that SPS is not doing enough to protect students of color or LGBT students. SPS disagreed, saying inappropriate behavior is always disciplined. In May, the NAACP president also said there's not enough representation of minorities at the district. The imperatives are designed to be a list of strong suggestions for the district to diversify. They'll be presented tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Bartley-Decatur Neighborhood Center on East Calhoun. The NAACP will also share stories of alleged discrimination on August 1st.
Also happening this week at Fort Leonard Wood, a roundtable discussion on whether to or how to improve military housing. It's part of an ongoing effort to resolve unhealthy living conditions or repair problems on base. That will be this Friday at 8:30 in the morning.
There is a mail-in election you need to know about coming up next month for residents and business owners along Commercial Street. The news leader says the election on August 13th will decide whether a special sales tax should be increased and extended. The tax pays for marketing and maintenance of the Commercial Street area between Douglas and Clay Avenues. Now, if approved, the tax would increase from 0.375% to a full 1%. The tax would also be extended for the next 15 years.
Former Missouri State Senator Dan Clemens has passed away. He died yesterday at the age of 74. From 2002 to 2010, he represented District 20, which is most of rural Greene and Christian counties. Clemens was a Republican. This video shows him at the Missouri Capitol discussing a bill in 2009. Clemens grew up in Webster County and spent most of his life as a farmer. He also served on several boards, including the Marshfield School Board. A celebration of life service for Clemens will be held this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the First Baptist Church in Marshfield.
Some political coverage for you. New federal funding will save drivers from lengthy traffic delays that were originally expected while I-70 gets a new bridge in Rocheport. A grant worth more than $80 million will allow for the new bridge to be built next to the current one in Boone County rather than rebuilding one in the same place. The grant will also trigger a $301 million plan to replace 215 bridges throughout the state.
The Arkansas Bureau of Standards is now facing a federal lawsuit claiming that a state law banning the use of the word meat when labeling plant-based food is a violation of free speech rights. Tofurky, which produces a variety of plant-based alternatives, filed the suit. The state says the law is in place as part of their goal to require truth in labeling. The Arkansas law is set to go into effect on Wednesday and would fine companies up to $1,000 per violation.
Also in Arkansas, the state's only surgical abortion clinic could close within a month if a federal judge chooses not to block a new law restricting who can perform abortions. The new law requires any doctor performing them to be board certified and eligible in obstetrics and gynecology. The Little Rock Family Planning Clinic only has one staff member who meets the requirements, and that doctor only works there a few times a month. The clinic could not afford to remain open if the new law is not blocked. Planned Parenthood is also challenging this new law.
Still ahead for you this morning on Daybreak, we'll tell you which barbecue dish is becoming a delicacy.
All of them. All of them.
This
right?
one is one of your favorites, yeah.
And GNC closing hundreds of stores and getting set for that. That's in your Money Watch up next.
From KOLR 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is KOLR 10 News Daybreak.